Hello guys, this is Tobiana again, and today I am painting just kind of a generic texture that I'm going to put up for free on DeviantArt if anybody wants to snag it. I was kind of tired when I did this, so it's a little small, but if you want to use it as part of a texture for something or whatever, if you find a use for it, please just go ahead and use it and let me know, because I'd love to see it in use somewhere. So the first thing that I did is I started off throwing in just some, using a cloud brush that I created so that the marks would be a little different. I just started laying in some dark blues. Now this is inspired off of a gemstone, and the thing with gemstones is they have a lot of different levels to them. When you look at them, they kind of shine in a lot of different ways, so that's kind of what I was trying to capture when I was doing this. Although you'll see at the end, as I was starting to get really tired, that it was getting a little saturated, and one day I might go in and pull some of that back, but I was really tired when I finished this, so it's a little saturated at the end. So I went in a couple of different times and just started pulling that blue up really slowly. And you'll see here I've started using a little bit of a brighter blue to try and bring out those edges a little bit more and to really bring in a lot more depth. So that's what we're doing here. And we're going to speed this up a little bit because it gets to be a little monotonous. Now this is currently playing, up until this spot, it was currently playing at 5 times how long I was doing this, and then I went in and this section here is recording at 10 times, and you're going to see some that slow down a little bit as I talk about what's happening and speed up a little bit. Now I'm going in with a little bit of a darker blue, trying to bring those out a little bit more. Now all I did is I locked the layer and I went in with a larger brush to drop in some bigger spots and kind of bring in the inconsistency that rocks or gemstones have in their designs, because by nature everything's designed, well, maybe not designed, but it grows kind of random, and I wanted to bring in some of that randomness into it. But overall, I'm like a little unhappy with how I wanted something that would really pop, because these gemstones really pop, and I was trying to recreate how they get this shimmery blue in there, and this light blue I was a little unhappy with while I was working with it. So you'll see me go in and I'm just futzing, trying to figure out how to make this stupid thing work. But now you see me going in with this really fine brush, and I'm adding in a lot of black lines. So Labradorite has this kind of striping going on in it, kind of like in a butterfly wing, where you get these black lines making their way through the blue and the rock, and actually in the greens and the yellows too. But Labradorite often has multiple different colors going on, so I'm bringing in a little bit of this. It was supposed to be kind of a greenish tinted, orangey yellow rock area, and it ended up getting a little too green and at the end a little too saturated. But I was kind of just having fun. It's been a long time since I've done a texture, especially one based off of a rock design, so I was just kind of getting my feet wet, which is part of why I'm releasing this for free to you guys. So that's all I'm doing. So now I'm going in and adding some hot spots, and yeah, so that is, I have this thing going on with my mouse where it keeps plopping in these big thick lines, like my computer is lagging or something, and it's dropping in these big mistake lines where there's no pressure sensitivity and the lines are super random. If anybody knows how to fix that, please let me know, because it is driving me freaking insane. But whatever. So I'm adding in some orange to this, and I'm going to add in some yellow. And overall, at this point, I'm noticing that my thing is getting really dark, and it doesn't have that shimmering thing going on that I like to have in a gemstone reconstruction or a gemstone design. So I'm keep trying to add in some bright spots, trying to capture that. And I got another random line in there that just appeared out of nowhere. But I can delete those. Another random line trying to pop itself in. And at this point, it's starting to look kind of more like the gemstone, even though it's a little dark. So I just kept pulling things out. And here I'm using overlay, I think. Yeah, I'm using overlay to try and pull out some of those more brighter spots and give it that kind of shimmery, translucent, depth-filled look that the Labradorite has. And I feel like it's kind of working, so I'm going in and adding those black lines back into the yellow area. And again, I just feel like this is so light, so I went in and I started pulling out more stuff, and I think it was starting to look good, although I see part of my mistake was going in with the blue and the yellow. That's kind of weird looking. But it's done, so that's where we're at. And this looks good. I really liked how the yellow started pulling out when I added that back in, how it kind of had this weird random design going on. So I went back in and I added my black lines. And honestly, at this stage, I feel like it looked pretty good. I shouldn't have gone in and added even more into the hot spots. Maybe into the blue. In the blue, it looks pretty sharp. In the yellow, it looks like just a oversaturated mess a little bit. But I can still see some uses for this particular design, and if you guys like it, go for it. That's awesome. And if you don't like it, you don't have to use it. I'm sure I'll come up with some cooler stuff in the future that you'll like, okay? But anyways, I hope you guys had a great time watching this weird thing get created, and thank you so much for watching, and feel free to hit subscribe or download this from DeviantArt. Thank you guys so much, and have a great night.